It's Ted Bogert. Ooh, I'm screaming. We are echoing in here. It's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. This is one of my favorite shows of the year. This is when me and my dear close friend, Wendy Stewart, share our word for the year. And I know I didn't do any prep and I didn't promote, but you guys can catch it on the reruns, as us old folks said. Every year we share the word that came to us that we're thinking about for the year. That's kind of our word for the year. And we'll share what we were last year. Yes. So welcome, Wendy. How's it going? I'm so excited. We were able to pull this off. I can't believe it. Last minute. We are at the beautiful Mills Gallery at the park. I love it. Something like that. Boris Garbe is the gallerist here. And so Citrus Club is closed. And Boris was kind enough to open up his spot, by the way. It's beautiful. And if you need a venue, give me a shout because Boris will hook you up. So for those people who don't know, tell them a little bit about you and then we'll start talking about it.
Okay, I'm Wendy Stewart, managing broker with the Property Pros. I've been in real estate for almost 10 years now. I'm very blessed, I will say, to do what I love and have amazing clients and families that I get to serve each and every day. So that's a little bit about me. Tell us about you.
Oh, Ted Bogert. You all don't know me. Let me explain. No, I'm Ted Bogert. You guys know me. I'm super blessed. 2023, I think, was a challenging year. I'm not sad to see 2024 coming. I'm actually really excited. But 2023, I think, was a challenge. But let's share our words. My word started out to be prosper last year, and then my prayers led me to ask. So those were sort of, ask became my number one word, asking for things. I'm really super bad at that, actually. And I did a lot of improvement, not perfect, still have a lot to go, but I was very blessed in a lot of ways. Family, friends. It's just been a 2023. I'm happy to see 2024, but I'm not sad to see 2023 go. How about you?
Okay, so for me, I use the same word I had in 2022. My word in 2022 is breakthrough.
Love that.
And I feel like in 2022, I got the break, but not the through.
Oh, I got the break, but not the through.
Yes. So
that's so good.
Yes. So I took it again. I repurposed it for 2023 because I needed the through. I think I needed the action. I needed the rest of it. I needed, the rest of what God was working out in my life. And he sure did. And it was a challenging year, but it was a very blessed year in many ways. And a year that I think I needed to be humbled in many ways to get the through.
Yes.
And I learned a lot of great lessons in life.
Isn't that amazing? Because I think one of the things we talk about on the show a lot, and I just did a post on it, you have to subtract to attract. I
love when you did that.
You have to get rid of the things that are not for you so that things that are for you can come through. They can come through, like Wendy said. So you can have the break, but not the through. And I think a lot of times we're our own worst enemy when it comes to that. We hang on to people, especially. People just for whatever reason, Wendy and I are both the same. We want to fix you, want to figure out how to make it work. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship you're in, but we want to fix people. We want to help them. And in doing so, sometimes, a lot of times for me, you get blocked on the things that you're supposed to be receiving. And so it's interesting to me that you brought that up. You had the break, but not the through. And that's perfect. And that's sort of like, I've always, for me, with the prosper and ask, I knew prosper was somewhere in there, but I just kept feeling that's not the right word. That's not it. And then it just came to me that I needed to ask and ask.
Only because everybody had been telling you.
And, like a normal human being, of course, I did not listen to a word anyone said. And ask meant about business, but it really meant about asking permission for things and giving permission for things and asking for the things that I believed that I should be receiving. And so but it was a lesson because I'm just not used to that. I'm used to being very passive about things. And so 2023 was an up and down for that. I went through a great period in the beginning where I asked and then got sidetracked. And so I kind of have been finishing 2023 continuing to ask, but I think you figure out what your word is, and then the universe, God, in our particular situation, kind of meets you there and helps you kind of refine it and retune it
in
as
his
you
own
go.
timing. Because like I said, 2022, my word was breakthrough, and I was like, come on. I felt like I was making breaks and big breaks, but I wasn't, still didn't have the joy in my life that I wanted. You can to be happy is one thing, but to have joy
Completely different.
is so different.
Yes.
And I think I've had and experienced happiness for a long time, but now I have a joy in my soul and in every aspect of my life, even though it has been a tough year for me. So, but I've found a lot of good in the pain and a lot of, a lot of joy in the pain too. So
agreed. I think you can find joy in the pain. One of the things about joy is it shouldn't be dependent on what your circumstances are. That's happy.
It.
Happy is circumstances related. Joy you have in some way, shape, or form all the time.
Yeah.
One of the things, like this was a challenging year for me as far as, God, I got to be so careful because we're live. Just challenging in the business side of things. And I think that I've learned that there are different kinds of currencies that for me, God provides that aren't necessarily financial, but because you never know where he's going.
Yeah.
And you never know what he's going to provide for you. But I believed and have asked for him to provide. And so he provided in ways that maybe I didn't think he'd provide, but he's done a fantastic job as always. Always. Yeah, he meets. And that's a blessing. And whatever your beliefs are, if you're in I like law of attraction too. It's all the same thing. And manifesting. And you had tell me the little story. I'm going to put you on the spot, but you were done with dudes.
Well, I was so done with dudes. So funny enough, in February, I was on the dating apps talking to people, and this guy I'd been chatting with, never met, right? He asked me on a date on a Friday. I think I was with you.
I remember
that
this.
day,
yeah.
and I left early. I was like, I'm so excited. I've been talking to this guy for weeks. So excited to meet. I went home, I got ready, and dude cancels. He cancels our date.
Yep.
And I cried over this guy I'd never met. I cried for 4 hours. I'll never forget it, in my living room. And I just, at that point, I don't think I've ever felt like this. And I got on my hands and knees and I said, God, I'm done. I'm done seeking. I'm done. I don't know. I'm just done. Like, I'm crying over this guy I've never met on Bumble or whatever it was. I don't even know. And I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I said, God, I'm giving this to you. I've been divorced for 20 years. I want to date with purpose. I've always wanted to be married. My intention, I believe in marriage. I really do. I have a daughter. I bring her up on those principles of being married. And I don't just want to date around. And I said, God, unless you send a man to my door, I'm not looking anymore.
I've had enough. In
your hands. And sure enough, 26 days later, I met my fiance on a total whim. He was somewhere he'd never been. I was somewhere I was always at. And we met outside in passing. And we've been inseparable since. And
it's a beautiful thing to watch. When, in my opinion, God brings the person to you. Crazy. This is it. And there's that immediate connection. And he's just the sweetest, biggest teddy bear.
Yeah, he's a big teddy
kind-hearted,
bear.
hardworking.
Jesus too. So ladies, if you put your stuff, whatever you want, don't settle. Don't settle. I was settling.
Did you give him two when you met him?
Oh,
didn't you sit down?
No, it was Nick.
Oh, it was Nick? I thought you gave him attitude too.
No, it wasn't me. The gay best friend gave him such attitude. So yeah, it was one of those things that when we met, it was like, there you are.
Yeah.
That was it. There you are. So
but I feel like we, sometimes again, because we blockade ourselves
with
people, you and I both, and careers and people we've had to subtract, get rid of. And it's I guess it's not unfortunate. It's a fortunate thing, but it takes strength and it takes a lot to do it, because as people who want to fix everything for people, we tend to overstay our welcome for sure. All right, so let's talk about 2024. We don't know each other's words, by the way.
No, we always do this.
So I'm excited to hear your word because I know you pray over it like I do.
Yes.
And I know, oh, hey, Lily.
Hi, Lily. Oh, I feel her
I
pain.
love
Yeah.
her. Yes.
Yep.
Done with the dating apps. Yes, good for you. Good for you.
Yep.
So we don't share, but we put a lot of thought and prayer into it because we want this to be a word that shapes our 2024, helps shape it,
Yep.
And that we can refer back to and that we can think about and think on and pray on. So ladies first. Of course, always ladies first.
Okay, so my word, drum roll, is reset.
Reset. I love it. Why reset? Where did reset come from?
From our Heavenly Father. I don't know. Like, it came to me actually in September. It came to me in September, and I wasn't praying over it. It's just something I kept seeing, kind of. I saw it in a commercial. I'd see it on Facebook, and I just kept seeing it. And I was like, that's a great word because there are things in my life that I need to reset. Not just like my business needed a reset, and my relationships needed a reset. My life, I became an empty nester this year, which was really weird. That needed to reset. So I needed a reset in a good, cleansing, positive way. And I'm excited. I'm excited to reset and see where it goes for 2024.
This is such a great word because I feel like a lot of people are trying to figure out what to do different in 2024. So a reset kind of encompasses all of it because it can be a relationship, like you said, or business. But I think a reset is good for all of us. A lot of times we want to reset. We don't know how. Or we only reset part of our life and then the other part isn't reset. So you're back to kind of square one, no matter what you're doing. And I love that it also takes a lot of reflection to understand that you need to reset, because a lot of people just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome, which is the definition of insanity. We've all been there. Yeah. We all keep accepting the same things and doing the same things and hoping for the best, praying for the best. But a true reset is detoxifying.
A true reset. I'm so excited, and it's just it's a reset of many things. And creating reset for me also means creating new boundaries.
Oh, talk about boundaries. I love boundaries. I'm terrible at it, but I love boundaries. I know.
Why do you love it?
No, I love it. I love the thought of it. I just am not good at it.
Yeah, no, we need, for me, this is so different for me, this, being engaged and the kids being gone, but I also have a bonus child who's 9 now, who makes me stop and do homework and do things. And it's a little different, smell the roses in a different way. So it's resetting. It's I want to be home at a certain time, my weekends are dedicated to family things now and resetting in that way. And, at first you think how am I going to do this? How is this going to work into my life and my business? And my priorities have changed. Maybe my business is not my number one thing anymore. My family is my number one thing, which it always should have been. But to be quite honest, it just wasn't. Right. Because I was a single parent. I had goals, and I had to complete goals and tasks in order to get my kids and my family to the next level. Well, now they're there. Mama needs to reset. It's all different now.
Mama does.
New goals and new boundaries and new things. So
I think boundaries will help with the reset. I feel like a lot of times we choose a word in general, or we choose a theme, or we're trying to accomplish something, but we don't reset our boundaries. And because we don't reset our boundaries, we're still including the same people in there who are, again, remember, just because they're in a circle doesn't mean that they're in your corner.
Doesn't mean they're for you.
They're not for you.
Not everyone
and you have to pay attention who's in the boat with you and which way they're rowing. It's very eye-opening. What I've learned over time on the reset part is that I'm able to reset sooner and not allow something that is not for me to go longer than it should. So I've had a lot of change this year because of that. But in the past, I would let that thing, it was like a cancer, man. I would just be fighting that for years and years and years and just hanging on for a dear thread, hoping that the person would would understand it, or I could change them, or I could change the scenario. I could do something different when all along I wasn't supposed to be in that relationship. I wasn't supposed to be at that company. I wasn't supposed to be with that group of people. And so it's not my job to fix those people. So the reset is so good, and the boundaries are so good. I love that. Yeah. I love it. Reset's a great word.
Well, let's hear your word.
Okay, so
I'm really excited.
My word is so interesting because I fought it. It came to me right away, and I said, that's too easy. And so I was playing with a lot of other ones, and I'm a prayer guy, so it kept coming back to me. And finally, again, I'm a God person, so God said, basically, dude, when you ask, what are you going to get? So receive is my word for 2024, yes. And receive on so many levels, because I did all the asking, and now I've done all the planting of the seeds. I've built all the relationships. I've built the infrastructure. I've built all of this stuff, obviously with my friends and my family and God at the helm. Now it's time to receive. And so receive for me means it's time to abundance. Yes, Al. Thank you, Lily. And I'll post these. I'm sorry, I'm doing a terrible job right now. But receive just came to me so strong and kept coming to me. And finally, after I prayed over it, I'm like, all right, so basically what you're saying after the third time of hitting me over the head, or 50th time, is that I've asked for all this. Now it's time for you to reap your benefits, to enjoy the gifts that I want to give you. You've broken down the boundaries. You've reset. You've done all of this. You've asked. Now it's time for you to receive. As somebody who's not used to that, a huge challenge. And it's not that I'm not blessed. I don't mean it that way, but like somebody who's used to just being, give this, give that, not asking, to accept that word, I think was just a huge fight internally for me, soulfully and spiritually. And so that is my word. I intend to use 2024 to receive whatever that looks like. Yeah. I believe it's good and blessings. I believe that it's on many different levels. Receive health, receive good health, receive continued great relationships with friends and family. Yes. Receive business, receive whatever it is.
Receive good energy and everything.
Yes. So I want to, so receive is my 2024 word.
I love that.
And so I'm very, very excited about that.
You're right. It's a very, like, of course, if you ask.
Oh my God.
Right.
You don't understand. So I kept going to that scripture because ask is in that scripture. Ask and you shall receive. There's a whole bunch more in there. But I kept going to it, looking for the word. And I kept skipping over.
Slapping you in the face.
And I kept going, hello, come back to this. We still haven't finished this verse or this scripture. There's another part of it after you ask. There's another action. You may not be doing it, but you're allowing it. And so to allow myself to receive whatever additional blessings that God's going to give me, that's my 2024 word.
I love that, because when I know you're such a blessing to so many people. And when you're blessed, you just, it's to bless others. So the ask, I know you worked really hard on that this year.
I did. Struggled.
Out of your comfort zone to ask.
So out of my comfort zone.
Primarily, for me, with you as my friend, I was like, you need to start. You do so much for so many people. You're not asking for business. We'd like beat you on the head with it. You did. And it was hard for you to do that.
It really was, and I think it is for a lot of people, right? Because we're
no,
it's not. Oh, so it's just me.
It's just you. Most people in your shoes would be like, I've done this and this and that for you.
Some people have it. That's a gift of theirs, like the gift of theirs to ask. I know I have to be better at it. Stacy is always on me, has been for years on me about it, and I've always gone with the thought process that, because my life has been up and down, but always blessed. Again, talking about the currency, that the monetary currency, God has always figured out a way to take care of me and us. But I've gotten a lot of other things. I got a strong message this year that I was going to receive the fruits of my labor, and I was going to receive the benefits of having the relationships that I have, in a way that I could. And another strong part of it was, you're going to receive so that you can give, Ted, and that give more. So,
and you do.
And Exactly. So it's
you've given from places where you really, I'm not talking about monetarily or, but like you've given from places where you've been, I've seen you in, unique situations and you're still, well, let's do this and let's do that. And even if it's been out of your own pocket, I've seen you do that. So I'm happy. I'm front row seating this to watch you receive after asking, and so you reap what you sow.
You do.
It's in the book.
It is. And it was right there in the next sentence of the verse that I used all of last year.
I know the verse. So that's it's time. It's your season. It's your season.
That's correct. It's my season. And I think it's like reset is also a season. This is a time to make the changes, to figure out who's with you and who isn't, and really let go of the people who aren't, which is hard for me. It's a struggle for me to let go of people. And I think what's powerful is in your relationship with Chad, now that you realize what that happiness and that joy is, and that somebody actually is treating you the way that you should be treated, then it empowers you, right? You're like, okay, I don't have to put up the rest of this shit.
Yes.
I don't have to. I've got a fantastic relationship. Now I know what a relationship is supposed to be like. I don't have to put up with the rest of your crap. And that could be on business, personal friendships, other relationships. It doesn't matter, just in general. So
yes, it affects everything. It truly does. Because like I said, now my priority is to be home. And I love what I do, but I love my family time. I love being home. I love, I enjoy, my kids aren't there. So if they call me for a dinner, I'm going to drop everything. I love my people, but if my kids say, hey mom, we've got an hour for dinner, I'm canceling everything.
Correct.
I'm canceling everything. There's just no amount of money that could make it worth it to me. A dinner with my kids is priceless.
Correct. And you have beautiful kids.
Thank you. Well, Madison.
We love you, Maddie. Oh God, she's my friend on Facebook. Don't do that. No, but I think that's true. I think you have to find what's important, and then you have to focus on that.
Yeah.
And a reset. I know. Hi, Kelly.
I love
Kelly.
I do too.
I love her.
She's the real deal.
All right. So number one goal for 2024 is to reset.
My number one goal is to reset.
Everything around that.
Everything around that. Every single thing, and choose my people for the year. And it doesn't mean, like, if there's people we're going to let go of, and we're not going to be mean about it. But
correct.
If I'm snubbing you, it's just because you're not for me, and you know it. You know it too.
That's the funny part is most people, except some of our narcissistic friends, don't know it. But the majority of people who are not narcissistic get it. They already know in their hearts that is, we're not supposed to be in a relationship, and 99% of the time they're getting more out of the relationship than you are. Which is a big challenge. All right, so 2024, we have reset and receive. And that is what we are going to be looking for, and hold us to it, hold us accountable.
And drop your words.
Drop your words. Yes, so drop your words, put your words in. Lily said her word is redesigned, I believe. And I love that word. Al said abundance. I love abundance. Anything that you can be positive, I think you attract it. So get rid of some of that stuff that is not for you, and make 2024 your year of reaping the benefits and doing the things that you need to be doing, and working with the people you need to be working with, and having relationships with people that you should be having relationships with. All right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. We love you guys so much. Love you to pieces. Appreciate you so much. Wendy's information is scrolling across the bottom, and so is mine.
He still does loans, people.
Oh my God, Dan Morales is going to love you for that.
He's ready to receive.
Look, I'm ready to receive your loans. Oh, Ben, Merry Christmas. Yes. I'm ready to receive your loans. OrlandoMortgageMaker.com. Huge shout out to Dan Morales for, I have a whole appreciation for him, for understanding the craziness that is Ted Bogert, and accepting it and figuring it out. All right, we love you guys so much. Have a blessed holiday, and we'll see you back in 2024.